There are stories that you read, and there are stories that take you somewhere else entirely. This is one of those stories. Alice was just an ordinary girl, living an ordinary life. But one afternoon, something unusual happened. A white rabbit, wearing a coat and checking a pocket watch, ran right past her. And that was the moment everything changed. Without thinking, Alice followed the rabbit. Through the trees, past the garden, until she reached a strange hole. And then she fell. Down and down, into a world she had never seen before. Alice was walking slowly through the garden when something unusual caught her eye. A white rabbit, dressed like a gentleman, running past her. But what made it strange was the watch in his hand. And the words he kept repeating. "I'm late, I'm late, I'm terribly late." Alice froze for a moment. A talking rabbit? A pocket watch? This didn't make any sense. But curiosity is a dangerous thing. And before she could stop herself, she started running. The rabbit disappeared between the trees. Alice followed faster and faster. The forest became darker, stranger, quieter, as if the world itself was changing around her. And then she saw it, a large rabbit hole, hidden beneath the roots of an old tree. The rabbit didn't hesitate. He jumped straight in. Alice stood there, breathing heavily. She knew it was irrational. No normal person would jump into a dark hole. But something inside her pushed her forward. She stepped forward and fell. Down, down, endlessly down. The world above disappeared, and Alice entered somewhere she could never imagine. The fall finally stopped. Alice opened her eyes. Slowly. She was no longer in the world she knew. She stood inside a long, silent hall. The air felt still, almost frozen in time. All around her, there were doors. Big doors, small doors, doors of every shape, but none of them seemed to lead anywhere. In the center of the hall stood a glass table, and on it a tiny golden key. Alice picked it up carefully. It felt important. One by one, she tried every door. Locked. All of them. Until she found a very small door. The key fit perfectly. She opened it and saw something beautiful. A garden full of color and light. It looked alive, almost magical. But there was a problem. She was too big to enter. Alice stepped back, confused. And then something appeared. A small bottle with a label. It said, "Drink me." She hesitated. Nothing in this place made sense. But curiosity had already taken over. So she drank. At first, nothing happened. Then suddenly, the room began to grow. Or perhaps she was getting smaller. Smaller and smaller, until the world around her felt enormous. Alice rushed back to the door. But then she realized the key was still on the table. Now, far above her, impossible to reach. She tried, jumping, climbing, but nothing worked. For the first time, she felt helpless. Her eyes filled with tears, and she began to cry and cry until her tears formed a small sea and her. After a while, she stopped. She looked again at the tiny door. The garden was still there, bright, peaceful, waiting. So different from everything else. Alice took a deep breath. This world was strange, unpredictable, and a little frightening. But she knew one thing. There was no going back. So she moved forward, towards the door and into Wonderland. Alice stepped through the tiny door And everything changed. The strange hallway was gone. Now she stood in a world filled with impossible colours. Flowers taller than houses. Trees twisting in impossible shapes. And a silence that felt alive. Alice walked slowly. Every step revealed something stranger than before. A flower whispered. A tree moved without wind. And somewhere in the distance, someone was laughing. Alice stopped. The laughter came again. She looked around, but there was no one there. Then, two glowing eyes appeared in the darkness. A grin appeared, floating in the air. Then the face, then the body. A cat sat on the branch above her, smiling as if it knew every secret in Wonderland. And spoke in a calm voice. If you wish to keep going, follow the path to the tea party. Then it vanished. Alice followed the winding path until she saw a long table covered in teapots, cups, and the strangest people she had ever seen. At the center sat a man with a giant hat, pouring tea wildly, laughing without reason. The March Hare shouted nonsense. Cups moved, chairs scraped, and everything felt completely mad. Alice stepped away from the table. The laughter, the noise, the madness. It all faded behind her. For a moment, everything was quiet again. But this silence felt different, heavier, colder, as if something was watching. Alice walked slowly, not knowing where the path would lead, but knowing she couldn't go back. The trees grew taller, their shadows longer. The colors of Wonderland began to fade. Red replaced green. Black replaced light. Alice felt it before she saw it. Something was wrong. Then she heard voices. Sharp, loud, angry. And one voice above all others. Alice stepped closer. Careful, silent, until she saw them. A court unlike anything she had imagined. Soldiers shaped like playing cards, standing in perfect lines. And at the center, a throne, covered in red. And on that throne sat the Queen of Hearts. Her eyes were sharp, her voice louder than the world itself. She didn't speak, she commanded, and everyone obeyed, or else. Alice tried to stay hidden, but in this world, nothing stayed hidden for long. The Queen turned, her eyes locked onto Alice. Silence fell, and then a single command. Off with her head. Everything. Through the court, through the forest, through a world that no longer made sense. Everything blurred. Voices echoed. The Queen's command repeated again and again. Off with her head. Off with her head. Alice didn't look back. She couldn't. And then she fell, not into darkness, but into silence. When Alice opened her eyes, the world was normal again. The garden, the sky, the quiet afternoon. Everything was exactly as it had been. Or was it? Alice sat still, trying to understand. Was it just a dream? Or had she really been somewhere else? Somewhere impossible. Somewhere called Wonderland. And then Alice fell, not into darkness, but into silence. When she opened her eyes, the world was calm again. The garden, the sky, the quiet afternoon, everything exactly as it had been before. No strange voices, no twisted trees, no queen, just reality. Alice sat up slowly, her heart still racing, her breath unsteady. It felt real, too real to be just a dream. She looked at her hands. Empty. Nothing unusual. Nothing at all. But then, something caught her attention. In the grass beside her, a small object, half hidden beneath the leaves. Alice reached for it, her fingers trembling, and slowly she picked it up. A golden key, the same key from the door from Wonderland. Alice froze, her mind searching for answers, but finding none. If it was just a dream, then how was this real? A soft breeze passed through the trees, and for a moment, everything was still. Then, very faintly, she heard it again. A voice, distant but familiar. "You're late." Alice looked up. The forest stood silent, empty, or so it seemed. She tightened her grip on the key, not knowing whether she had escaped or had only just begun. Because some places don't let you leave. They wait, quietly, patiently, until you come back. Wonderland was one of them.